Hello, my wonderful friends, and welcome to English Made Easy. It's so good to have you here with me today. And my goal on this channel is simple: to help you learn English in the easiest, most comfortable, and most enjoyable way possible. We're here to take the stress out of studying and put the fun back in. Today, we have a very special episode. We're going to be looking at some words that might seem a little big, a little intimidating. You might see them in books, in formal emails, or hear them in movies and think, whoa, what does that mean? But I have a secret for you. These big, fancy words are actually just simple ideas wearing a tuxedo. They're not as scary as they look. In this video, we're going to take 10 of these hard words and make them simple. We're going to help them take off that tuxedo and put on a comfortable t-shirt and jeans so you can see them for what they really are. Why is this important? Because learning these words will give your English a superpower. It will help you understand more, express yourself more precisely, and feel more confident, whether you're taking an exam like the IELTS or TOEFL, writing an email for work, or just watching your favorite show without subtitles. And listen, even if you see a word on our list today and think, oh, I already know that one, I want you to stick around. I promise you, we are going to dive deep into each word. We'll explore little details, common mistakes, and feelings associated with them that you might have never thought about before. There's always something new to learn. So here's my promise to you. By the end of this session, you will not only understand what these 10 words mean, but you will know exactly how to use them, when to use them, and you'll even have some easy synonyms you can use instead. You'll be ready to apply them in your day-to-day life. So, find a comfortable spot, maybe grab a cup of tea or coffee, take a deep breath, and let's begin our journey together. Let's make these hard words simple. Word number 1 is alleviate. Let's just listen to the sound of it for a moment. Alleviate. Now let's say it together, nice and slowly. Alleviate. Can you hear the 4 little parts? Alleviate. The stress, the little push of energy, is on the second part. Alleviate. It sounds a little bit like the word elevate, which means to lift something up. Think of it like that. Alleviate, like elevate, but a little softer. Let's try it one more time, just for fun. Alleviate. Beautiful. So, what kind of word is it? Alleviate is a verb. That means it's an action word. It's something that you do or that something does. We alleviate something. But what do we alleviate? Here is the simple core meaning. To alleviate means to make something bad, like pain or a problem, feel less intense or less severe. It's like turning down the volume on something negative. If you have a headache that is very loud and throbbing in your head, alleviating it is the act of turning that volume dial down, 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 until the pain is just a quiet hum, or maybe even gone completely. Let's put it into a sentence to see how it works. Imagine you're not feeling well and you go to the doctor. You could say, "The doctor gave me some medicine to alleviate the pain in my leg." What does that really mean in the simplest words? It just means the medicine helped make the pain in my leg less bad. See? The idea is so simple. The word is just a fancier, more specific way to express it. Let's try another example. Maybe you're feeling worried about a test. Talking to a good friend can alleviate a lot of my stress. Again, all this really means is talking to my friend helps reduce my stress. It makes that bad feeling of stress smaller and more manageable. So, what are some other easy words that mean something similar? Think of words you already know, like reduce, ease, lessen, or relieve. If you know the term pain reliever, you already understand this word. A pain reliever is simply a medicine that alleviates pain. Now for our little memory hook. Let's create a picture together in our minds. Imagine you have been carrying a very, very heavy backpack all day long. Your shoulders are aching, the straps are digging into your skin. It's a real problem, a real pain. Then you finally get home. You swing that heavy backpack off your shoulders and set it down on the floor. That feeling, that wonderful of instant relief as the weight disappears, that is the feeling of alleviating a burden. You have just alleviated the weight from your shoulders. You made the problem less. And finally, a very useful tip on how to use it correctly. We only alleviate negative things. We alleviate pain, we alleviate stress, we alleviate poverty, we alleviate suffering. We don't alleviate good things. You would never ever say, I want to alleviate my happiness, because that would mean you want to make your happiness less. So just remember, alleviate is the hero that comes to make the bad things smaller. That's our first word, alleviate, to make something bad less bad. Word number 2, commence. Are you ready for the next one? Our second word sounds quite formal and important. The word is commence. Let's practice the sound of it. Commence. It has 2 parts. Commence. The stress is on the second part here. Commence. It rhymes with simple words you might know, like sense or tense. Commence. Say it quietly to yourself. Commence. It sounds very official, doesn't it? And that sound is a big clue to what it is. Commence is a verb. Just like alleviate, it's an action word. It's something you do. And what does it mean? The meaning is incredibly simple. Commence just means to start or to begin. That's it. That's the entire secret. So why don't people just say start? Well, we use commence in more formal or official situations. It gives the beginning of something a feeling of real importance. Let's look at an example sentence. The meeting will commence at 9 a.m. sharp. What does that mean in simple, everyday language? The meeting will start at 9 a.m. sharp. The meaning is identical, but commence sounds more official, more serious. It makes the meeting feel like a properly scheduled, important event. Here's another one. Picture a big, important sporting event, like the Olympics. The person with the starting gun might announce to the crowd, the final race will commence in 3, 2, 1. It just means the race is about to begin. But using the word commence adds a little bit of drama and formality to the moment. So our easy synonyms are right there in the definition itself. Start and begin. It really is that simple. If you can use the word start, you can perfectly understand the word commence. Now, let's create a visual for this word. Imagine you are in a grand old theater. The lights in the room are dim. The audience is sitting in hushed silence. In front of you is a huge, heavy, red velvet curtain. It's closed. Then, slowly, majestically, that heavy curtain begins to rise. The show is about to start. In that moment, you could say, the play is about to commence. The word itself has the same weight and importance as that beautiful, heavy curtain. It's not just starting, it's commencing. And a quick usage tip. Because it's a formal word, you probably wouldn't use commence for everyday, casual things. For instance, you would likely say to your family, I'm going to start my homework now, not, I am going to commence my homework now. That would sound a little funny, a bit like wearing a tuxedo to watch television. But for a graduation ceremony, a formal dinner, a business conference, or a legal proceeding, commence is the perfect sophisticated word to use. So that's our second word, commence, a formal, fancy, and important way to say start. Our third word today is a really interesting one. It looks long, but it's not as complicated as it seems. The word is disseminate. Let's break it down into its sounds. Let's say it slowly together. Disseminate. It has 4 parts. Disseminate. The stress is on the second syllable. Disseminate. It has a nice flowing rhythm to it, doesn't it? Disseminate. Let's try saying it one more time. Disseminate. Like our other words so far, disseminate is a verb. It's an action. It's something that we do. So what is this action? The meaning is actually quite simple. To disseminate is to spread information, knowledge, or ideas to a lot of people. It's all about sharing something widely so it reaches as many people as possible. Let's think about where the word comes from for a second. The middle part, seminate, is related to the Latin word for seed, and the prefix dis often means apart or in different directions. So you can picture what it means. To disseminate is like being a farmer, walking through a field and scattering seeds all over the ground. But instead of seeds for plants, you are scattering the seeds of information. Here's an example sentence that makes it clear. The organization's main goal is to disseminate information about protecting the environment. In simple words, this just means the organization wants to share information about protecting the environment with as many people as they can. They want to spread that knowledge far and wide. Here's a very modern example. After the scientific study was complete, the results were disseminated on the internet. This means the results were shared all over the internet, on websites, on social media, in news articles for everyone to see. Easy synonyms for disseminate would be words you already use, like share, spread, or distribute. If you share a helpful video with all of your friends, you are helping to disseminate that information. Now, let's find our emotional or visual hook. Imagine you've just discovered something absolutely amazing. Maybe it's a fantastic new song, or a really funny video that made you laugh out loud, or a piece of important news that you know everyone needs to hear. You feel that powerful urge to share it immediately. You text it to your friends, you post it on your social media. You want that information to travel everywhere. That feeling, that impulse to spread an idea to everyone you know, that is the spirit of dissemination. You are disseminating that information. And a little usage tip to keep in mind. We usually disseminate things that are non-physical. We disseminate information, knowledge, news, ideas, or research results. You wouldn't really say, I'm going to disseminate these cookies to my classmates. You would say, I'm going to distribute these cookies. Disseminate is for thoughts and ideas, not for physical things. So there it is. Disseminate, to scatter the seeds of information. Word number 4, scrutinize. Our next word has a very sharp, focused feeling to it. The word is scrutinize. Let's say it slowly. Screw-T-nize. 3 parts. Screw-T-nize. The stress is right at the very beginning. Screw-T-nize. It has a very precise, almost cutting sound to it. Scrutinize. You're getting so good at this. Scrutinize is a verb. It's another action word. And the meaning of this word is just as focused as it sounds. To scrutinize means to look at something very, very carefully. It's not just a quick look or a casual glance. It's examining every single tiny detail, looking for any mistakes, flaws, or special features. Imagine a famous detective like Sherlock Holmes holding a magnifying glass. He's not just looking at the crime scene, he is scrutinizing the carpet, searching for a single strand of hair or a speck of dust that doesn't belong. That intense, careful, detail-oriented way of looking, that's scrutinizing. Here is an example sentence. The editor had to scrutinize the author's manuscript to find all the small punctuation mistakes. In simpler terms, this just means the editor had to look at the author's writing very, very closely to find all the tiny errors. The editor wasn't just reading it for the story, they were hunting for details. Here's one more that might be useful in your life. Before you sign any important contract, you should always scrutinize it. This means you should read every single word, every line, every piece of small print very, very carefully to make sure you understand everything and agree to it. Easy synonyms for scrutinize would be words like examine, inspect, or analyze carefully. The key word that connects them all is carefully. It's looking with a specific purpose. Let's lock this word in our minds with a powerful visual example. Picture yourself trying to find Waldo in one of those huge, chaotic Where's Waldo pictures. You don't just glance at the page. Your eyes move slowly, methodically over every inch of the drawing. You are looking at every single face, every hat, every red and white stripe. You are scrutinizing that picture. That intense, laser-like focus is the heart of the word. And here's a quick tip for using it. Scrutinize implies that you are looking for something specific. You might be scrutinizing for errors, for clues, for a weakness, or just to make sure everything is absolutely perfect. It's an active, purposeful, and sometimes critical kind of looking. You wouldn't scrutinize a beautiful sunset. You would admire it or gaze at it. You scrutinize things that need a close, critical look. So, that's scrutinize, to look at something with a powerful magnifying glass in your mind. Word number 5, concur. This next word is short, simple, and very useful. The word is concur. Let's say it. Con-cur. Two simple parts. Con-cur. The stress is on the second part, concur. It sounds a little bit like the purring sound a happy cat makes, but with a K sound at the start. Concur. It's a simple sounding word, and concur is a verb, an action word. And its meaning is one of the simplest and most direct we will learn today. To concur simply means to agree. That's it. It means to have the same opinion as someone else. So if it just means agree, why do we have this other word? Well, much like the word commence, concur is a more formal word. It's often used in business, academic, or legal situations. It adds a little bit of weight and professionalism to the act of agreeing. Here's an example. Imagine two scientists who have been working on the same experiment. One of them presents their findings and says, "I believe the data shows our theory is correct." The other scientist might nod and reply, "Yes, I concur." This is just a formal, professional way of saying, "Yes, I agree with you." It sounds a bit more official and less casual than a simple, "Yep," or "Me too." Here's another example. In a courtroom, a judge might listen to arguments from two lawyers. After thinking for a moment, the judge might say, "The court concurs with the argument presented by the defense." Again, this just means the judge agrees with that lawyer's argument. The best and easiest synonym is, of course, agree. If you can say "I agree," you can completely understand "I concur." For our memory hook, let's picture a very serious meeting happening on the top floor of a tall skyscraper.
A group of people in expensive business suits are sitting around a long, polished wooden table. The boss explains a new plan for the company. She finishes her presentation and looks around the room for reactions. One person nods slowly and says, with a serious face, "I concur." Then another person at the table nods and says, "I also concur." It's like a formal, synchronized nodding of heads. That feeling of professional, serious agreement is the essence of concurring. And a little usage tip. Concur is almost always used in these serious or professional contexts. You probably wouldn't say to your friend, "Wow, this is the best pizza I've ever had," and expect them to reply with, "I concur." They would much more likely say, "I totally agree," or "Me too." So save concur for those moments when you want to sound a little more formal and professional in your agreement. So there we have it, concur, the formal, sophisticated way to say, "I agree."
Word number 6, mitigate. Now for our 6th word. This one is a little bit similar to our very first word, alleviate, but there is a very important difference. The word is mitigate. Let's say it together slowly. Mitigate. 3 parts. Mitigate. The stress is right on the first part. Mitigate. It has a nice smooth flow to it. Mitigate. And yes, you've probably guessed the pattern by now. Mitigate is a verb. It is an action word. Here is its meaning. To mitigate means to make something bad or harmful less severe, less serious, or less painful. Now, you might be thinking, wait a minute, that sounds exactly like alleviate. And you are right. They are very, very close cousins. They both work to make bad things better. But there is a subtle difference in how we use them. Alleviate is very often used for things we feel inside, like pain, stress, or grief. Mitigate is more often used for external things like risks, damage, or negative effects. It's about reducing the impact of something bad that might happen or is happening. Let's look at an example to really see the difference. Wearing the helmet helps to mitigate the risk of head injury when you are riding a bicycle. The helmet doesn't stop you from falling off your bike, but if you do fall, it makes the potential damage, the head injury, much less bad. It reduces the harmful effect of the fall. Here's another one on a bigger scale. The city built a high wall along the coast to mitigate the effects of flooding during a storm. The wall might not stop the storm completely, but it will make the flooding in the city less severe. It lessens the damage. Good simple synonyms would be words like lessen, reduce the impact of, or diminish. Let's create a strong visual for this word. Imagine a huge, bright, hot sun in the sky. If you stand directly in its light for too long, you will get a painful sunburn. That's the harm. Now, you open up a large beach umbrella and stand underneath it. The umbrella doesn't make the sun go away, but it creates a patch of shade that blocks most of the harmful rays. It makes the effect of the sun on your skin much less bad. That umbrella is mitigating the harm from the sun. It is a shield that lessens the impact. So, here's our crucial usage tip that really separates it from alleviate. You alleviate a headache that is already there. You mitigate the risk of a future problem. For example, you put on sunscreen to mitigate sun damage. You study hard before an exam to mitigate the chance of failing. Mitigate is often about being proactive, about taking action to reduce the potential for future harm. So that's mitigate, to make a bad situation or the effects of a bad situation less severe.
Word number 7, disclose.
Our seventh word today has a feeling of revelation, of sharing something that was once hidden. The word is disclose. Let's say it. Disclose. Two simple parts. Disclose. The stress is on the second part, disclose. It sounds exactly like the word close, as in please close the door, but with the prefix dis at the front. Disclose. And disclose is a verb. It's an action. It's something you do. The meaning is quite direct. To disclose means to make something known that was a secret or was previously unknown. It's all about revealing information that was hidden. Let's think about that prefix dis again. As we talked about with disseminate, dis often means the opposite of something. So if to close means to shut something, then to disclose means to unshut it, to open it up for people to see. Here's an example from the world of business. After losing a lot of money, the company was forced to disclose its financial problems to its investors. This means the company had to reveal secrets about its money troubles. The information was hidden, and now it has been made open. Here's a more personal and emotional example. After keeping it to himself for many years, he finally decided to disclose the truth to his family about what happened that day. This means he finally told a secret that he had been keeping for a very long time. Simple synonyms for disclose could be reveal, tell, uncover, or make known. The most important part of the meaning is that the information was not known before it was disclosed. Now, let's find our emotional hook for this word. Imagine holding a secret, a big one. It can feel heavy, like you're physically carrying a weight on your shoulders. The act of finally telling someone that secret, that mix of fear and relief you feel as the words finally come out of your mouth, that entire process is the act of disclosing something. It is the exact moment that a secret stops being the secret. And here's a quick usage tip. You don't disclose everyday boring information. You wouldn't say to a friend, "I'd like to disclose that I am feeling a bit hungry." That's not a secret. You disclose things that are important, confidential, or have been deliberately hidden. It's a word that carries a bit of weight and seriousness with it. You disclose a secret ingredient in a recipe. You disclose your true identity, or a doctor discloses a diagnosis. So that is disclose, to open up a secret.
Word number 8, facilitate. Our 8th word is a wonderful, positive, and helpful word. The word is facilitate. Let's break down its sound. Fa-sil-i-tate. It has 4 smooth syllables. Fa-sil-i-tate. The stress is on the second part. Facilitate. It has a very fluid, flowing sound to it. Facilitate. And you know the pattern by now. Facilitate is a verb. It's an action. The meaning of facilitate is really beautiful. To facilitate means to make an action or a process easier. A person who facilitates something is called a facilitator. They are a helper. They don't do the work for you, but they make it much easier for you to do the work yourself. If you know any Spanish or Italian, you might recognize the root word. Fácil in Spanish and facile in Italian both mean easy. So the word facilitate is all about making things easy. Here is a great example from the world of education. A good teacher knows how to facilitate learning by providing clear explanations and interesting activities. The teacher doesn't learn for the student, but by giving clear examples and making the class fun, the teacher makes the whole process of learning easier and more effective for the student. The teacher is facilitating learning. Here's another simple, practical example.
Having a good map and a GPS will facilitate our journey through the unfamiliar city. The map doesn't walk for you, but it makes the process of finding your way from one place to another much, much easier. Simple synonyms for facilitate are help, make easier, assist, or smooth the way for. For our visual hook, let's imagine a group of people in a room who are trying to solve a complicated puzzle together. They're all talking at the same time, they're confused, they're starting to get frustrated with each other. Then a calm person comes into the room, a facilitator. This person gives them a large whiteboard to write down their ideas. They encourage the quiet people in the group to share their thoughts. They help organize the conversation so only one person speaks at a time. The facilitator isn't solving the puzzle for them, but they are making it so much easier for the group to work together and solve it themselves. That act of helping, guiding, and making a process smoother is exactly what it means to facilitate. A quick usage tip. We facilitate processes or actions. You facilitate a discussion. You facilitate a meeting. You facilitate communication between two people who are arguing. You facilitate personal growth. It's the perfect word to use when you are helping something happen more smoothly and more easily. So, that's facilitate, a wonderful word that simply means to make something easier. Word number 9. Our ninth word today is one of my personal favorites. It's a word that we use to describe absolute perfection. The word is impeccable. Let's sound it out together. Impeccable. 4 clean, crisp parts. Impeccable. The stress is on that second syllable. Impeccable. It has a very precise and tidy sound, doesn't it? Impeccable. Now, this word is a little bit different from all the others we've learned today. Impeccable is an adjective. It's not an action word. It's a describing word. It describes a person, a place, or a thing. And what does it describe? Impeccable means perfect, with absolutely no mistakes or flaws at all. It describes the highest possible standard of quality. Let's look at the word's origin for a clue. The word peccare in the Latin language means to sin or to make a mistake. The prefix "im" at the beginning means not. So the word impeccable literally means not having any mistakes. It is flawless. Here's an example. My friend is famous for her impeccable sense of style. Her outfits are always absolutely perfect. This means her fashion choices have no flaws. Everything is perfectly matched, perfectly clean, and looks amazing on her. Here is another example. The student handed in an essay that was impeccable. There wasn't a single spelling or grammar error in the entire document. This means the essay was absolutely perfect, 100% correct, and beautifully written. Simple synonyms would be words like perfect, flawless, faultless, or spotless. Let's create a strong mental image for this word. I want you to imagine a room in a 5-star luxury hotel that has just been cleaned by the staff. The bed is made so perfectly that there isn't a single wrinkle in the white sheets. The wooden floor is so clean and polished that you can see your own reflection in it. There is not a single speck of dust on any surface. Everything is in its exact perfect place. That hotel room is impeccable. The feeling of seeing something so perfect that you cannot find a single thing wrong with it, that is the feeling of impeccability. And the quick usage tip. We use the word impeccable to describe things where quality and high standards are very important. You can have impeccable taste in music. You can have impeccable manners. You can have impeccable grammar. Or you can have an impeccable reputation, meaning everyone thinks you are a good and honest person.
It's a very strong and powerful adjective, so you should save it for when something is truly, absolutely perfect. So there it is, impeccable, a beautiful word for flawless perfection.
Word number 10, endorse. We have now arrived at our final word for today. Number 10, the word is endorse. Let's say it together. Endorse. Two strong parts. Endorse. The stress is on the second part, which makes it sound confident. Endorse. It rhymes with words like horse or force. Endorse. And endorse is a verb. It's our final action word of the day. The meaning is clear and direct. To endorse something is to publicly say that you support it or approve of it. It's like giving something your official yes or your stamp of approval for the whole world to see. A very common example is when you see a famous athlete or a movie star in a TV commercial. They hold up a bottle of soda or a new phone and say, "I use this every day." What they are doing is endorsing that product. They are using their fame to publicly say, "This thing is good. I support it. You should buy it." Here is a more formal example from the world of politics. The country's largest newspaper has decided to endorse the new candidate for president. This means the newspaper is officially and publicly declaring its support for that person. They are telling all of their readers, "We, this respected organization, think you should vote for this person." A very simple synonym for endorse is support, but it's a specific kind of public support. You could also think of it as to approve of, to recommend, or to give your backing to. For our visual hook, let's imagine a paper check from a bank. In order to get the money from that check, you have to turn it over and sign your name on the back. That signature is called an endorsement. When you sign it, you are giving your official approval for the payment to happen. So when you endorse an idea, a product, or a person, it's like you're putting your own personal signature on them for everyone to see. You are giving them your official stamp of approval. And a quick tip on how to use it. Endorsal is a public act. You can secretly agree with something in your own mind, but you only endorse it when you make your support known to others. It is also often connected with having some kind of authority or influence. A celebrity endorses a product. A politician endorses a new law. A respected expert endorses a new scientific study. Your public approval gives that thing more credibility and power. So that is our final fancy word, endorse, to publicly put your name on something and say, "Yes, I support this." And there we are, 10 new words, from alleviating your pain to commencing an important meeting, all the way to endorsing an idea you believe in. We have looked at each one, and we've gently taken off its tuxedo. We've seen the simple, friendly, and understandable idea that was there all along. Please do not worry if you can't remember all of them perfectly right now. That's not the point of our time together. Learning a language is a gentle and sometimes slow process. Your brain has heard these words today. It has felt their meaning. It has seen the pictures we painted in our minds. That is more than enough for one day. Just by listening, you have done something wonderful for your English journey. You have planted 10 new seeds. They will grow in their own time, with a little water and a little light. It is okay to forget. It is okay to listen to this again whenever you need a calm and quiet moment. The most important thing is that you showed up for yourself today. You were curious. You were patient with yourself. And that is something to be truly proud of. Thank you so much for spending this time with me. If you found this session to be relaxing and helpful,
Perhaps we can do this again sometime soon.
Take care, be kind to yourself, and keep being awesome.